Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to another Roblox Studio Basics. So in the last video there, we were trying to create a thing and a thing and a thing, and we were having issues, and I think I figured that out there. So what we need to do is, we're at the point now where I created this object. We'll just do it. We're going to create a part, okay? We'll just scale it. Now let's say this is a chest. All right, and now I'm just making it like the wood color. Make it wood here. And make sure it's anchored. Wood planks. All right, let's say it's a chest. And the player he's here. So we're going to go right click, insert object. Let's insert an attachment. And then what I like to do is we'll go to model. Make sure constraint details are on. I like to use the attachment because you can move it anywhere inside the box. Right, if you wanted to make it more visible to the players, you can move it up here, stuff like that. All right. So we're going to right click, insert object, proximity prompt. Okay, then what we're going to need to do is in server script service, we're going to need to right click, insert object, and we're going to need to make a script. All right, and in this script, we need to find the proximity prompt. So I'm going to delete that. Let's name this one. Let's name it chest. C-H-E-S-T. All right. So in our script, we need to go local button equals game dot workspace dot chest dot attachment dot proximity prompt. So I'm gonna say button dot triggered connect function. All right, and then here you're gonna say player. Okay, and then I have this pass script. This is what we did. So we'll say in the replicated storage. All right, we'll delete that. Right click, insert object. We need a remote event, and we're going to rename that remote event to pass. All right, so then we say, let's say local remote equals, well, it's a game. We can say get service replicated storage, and then we can say dot pass. Replicated storage dot pass, or we can say find first child pass. There's a few different ways that'll work. So then we say remote, and then instead of fire client, which is what I was doing, we'll say fire server. The fire server. Oh, this one's fire client player. Okay. Fire client, and then we want to put player in there. All right, and then what is that going to do? Well, what that's going to do is that's going to connect to our UI that we couldn't get working last time, which we are now going to get working. So in starter UI, we're going to go insert object, just a blank screen UI. We can rename this to store. All right, then we're going to insert object, a frame. This will be the frame for our store. Really simple. Then we're going to go insert object, text button. Okay. Going to make the background color of the text button black. Going to make the print white. And we're going to call this newspaper. And then we also want to rename the button to newspaper, which we may have gone over already. All right, so then what we were going to do is in the store, we're going to go right click, we're going to insert object and a local script. Now, what I had to do was we're finding the remote event and we're connecting the opening and closing of the UI to the remote event. So we'll say local remote equals game get service, let's say replicated storage, and we'll say dot pass. So I'm gonna disable this one so it doesn't open up the other one. All right, and then we say remote should be on client event connect function. Do we need to add anything in there? No. And then what we say here, it says script.parent.store.visible equals not script.parent.store.visible. That right there. So we can say script.parent dot frame in this case dot visible equals not script.parent.frame.visible. Just like that. Now it's giving me an error. Oh. All right. Now let's test that before we go to the button. Oh, it's visible. I'll make it not visible. Visible. All right. When we activate the prompt, it should go visible. It's not going visible. Why? What? Oh, man. On client event. Replicated storage pass on client event connect function. Script.parent.frame.visible. Oh my word. I don't know why. Hold on. This is like the third time. I had it all working and then I do it myself and doesn't want to work anymore. Script.parent.frame.visible equals not script.parent.frame.visible. Oh, well, maybe that's why. Here it's game replicated storage pass on client event. Okay, so let's, you know what? Let's just do that. Let's just say game dot replicated storage dot pass on client event connect function. See, I don't know why it's not opening. But if I enable this script, this one probably won't work either. No, neither of them are working. Why is that? Is that because of this script here? Could be because of the script here. Oh yeah. Okay. Too many scripts. Let's figure this out here. Okay, we're going to disable that one because it doesn't matter. We're going to disable that one. Maybe that's the problem here. It should work. Ah, hey, there we go. Don't worry about this newspaper. That was me testing it out. Okay, so we activate the prompt. There, the UI comes up. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to get the newspaper. So now we need to insert object, and we need to insert a local script. All right. And now we basically just go local button equals script.parent, and then we say button dot must button one down connect function. All right, and then I think it's just fire server button.name. Yeah, that's it. Oh, do we need the remote event too? Yeah, we need to do the remote event. All right, so we need to say local remote equals, and then we have to. This has to go through on request. Game get service, because on request is the remote event that we're using for our saving of the inventory. We'll say replicated storage, and then we'll say wait for child on request. All right, and we'll say remote fire server, and that was button dot name. That's why it's important to name the button newspaper. Now, this should all connect. This should all connect, and then we'll go over a review. Okay, so we interact. It comes up. I have a second newspaper in there. It says inventory saved. We leave the game. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to say inventory saved. I don't think. I hope. I should have two newspapers when it loads. Yeah, there you go. Perfect, perfect. And that's how you give a player an object and allow it to save. So let's recap what we did, because there were a few things that we did. Okay. So the first thing we had to do was create inventory save scripts, which were very long and probably had bugs in them, which we needed to comb over and find the bugs and fix them, which was just the async. All right. Then what we did was we created a UI. Delete this. And inside that, we created a frame with a button. And that allows us, so when then we added a proximity prompt, a trigger for the UI into an object in the workspace. So when our player is playing and he approaches this object, and there's an object inside that you want the player to have and save and keep, this is how we can do that. You just name the button, the object you want the player to have, make sure it's in the proper folder. The player clicks the button, the object moves to their inventory, and it's saved. And then anytime they load into the game, it will load the objects that they have. So as you can see, it's not easy setting up the data store. I guess it's something you have to do 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times over and over again before you can set it up completely once without error. It does take a while. And yeah, it does take a while. You can go on the dev forum and ask there as well for advice. A lot of people on there have a lot of advice with scripting and stuff. And they post scripts that you can get and read and that. Like I said, I found the inventory save scripts I found on the dev forum somewheres. And they were kind of broken. That's probably the code that I had that was broken. And I had to modify them a little bit to get them to work with the game. So that's what I did here. Is we updated the code. And yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching. I apologize. It was a very, very long video. A lot of information. But if you can sit through it, this, to me, is a huge enhancement into your games. Yeah, because you can give players items. And they can use those items over and over again. And it saves. Right on. Well, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.